Hey, so, yeah, last night I was supposed to pick up the York Mystery Cycle. I didn't get a chance because it was so long, but I'll talk about it now quickly. So the Playwrights Anonymous, um, but this play was performed, in the medieval times, I would guess, around, hold on one sec. Um, it was around the middle of the 14th century until 1569. That's when they were performed in the city of York. Um, Other famous mystery cycles include the Chester mystery cycles, Townley Wakefield plays, and the End Town. But um, and these plays were meant to there are 48 plays. In the text that I read online, it was 47 of them. There are pageants which covered the sacred history from creation to the Last Judgment. Um, and each one of these plays, these short plays, they're like, I'd say around 10 minutes long. They were told by, they're put on by different tradesmen in the medieval times. So let me um, go over the different um, groups. So the Fall of Angels was performed by the Barkers. The Creation of the Fifth Day, the Plasters. Um, Creation of Adam and Eve, the Card Makers. Adam and Eve in Eden, the Fullers. I don't know what a Fuller is. The Temptation Fall, the Coopers. The Expulsion from the Garden, the Armorers. So this is all. And then there's Cain and Abel, the Glovers. Um, so this is all early in Genesis. And the building of the ark, the shipwrights, and the flood was the fishers and the mariners. Kind of fitting. Abraham and Isaac, the parchment makers and the bookbinders. Moses and Pharaoh, the hosiers. The Annunciation and Visitation, the spicers. Joseph's trouble about Mary, the Peters and founders. So this is moving into the New Testament. The Nativity, the towel hatchers, and then there's the shepherds by the Chandlers. Herod and the Magi, the Masons and the goldsmiths. The purification of the Virgin, the hat makers, the Masons and waverers. The flight into Egypt, that's the marshals who put that on. The slaughter of the innocents, the girdlers and the nailers. Christ and the doctors in the temple, the spurriers and the Lorimers, I think that sounds pronounced. The baptism of Christ was by the barbers. The temptation of Christ, the smiths, the transfiguration, the couriers, the woman taken in the adultery and the rising of Lazarus, the cap makers, the plumbers, hat makers, pouch makers, and bottlers. The entry into Jerusalem, the skinners. The conspiracy, the cutlers. The Last Supper, the bakers. The agony in the garden, the cordwainers. Christ before Annas and Caiaphas, the Bowyers and the Fletchers. Christ before Pilate 1. Then it started Pilate. Why did I just say Pilate? Christ before Pilate 1. The dream of Pilate's wife. The tractors and the couchers. Christ before Herod. The Litzers, and then there's remorse of Judas, the cooks and the water leaders. Christ before Pilate 2, the judgment. So that's the tile makers. The road to Calvary, the shearmen, the crucifixion, the pinners, the death and burial of Christ, the butchers, the harrowing of hell, the saddlers, the resurrection, the carpenters, and the sawyers. Christ's appearance to Mary Magdalene, the wine jars, the road to Emmaus, the sledmen, Christ's appearance to Thomas, the scriveners, the Ascension, the tailors with that on, the Pentecost with the potters, the death of the Virgin was the drapers, the Assumption of the Virgin was the weavers, the coronation of the Virgin was the ostlers, and the Last Judgment was the mercers. So, that's 47 and 48. I'm not sure what that missing 48 play is, but so as you can see, these are different parts of Genesis as it is, and the Gospels in the Bible, and I guess Revelation in a sense. So, it tells the story of creation and the judgment, lots of the Last Judgment. And so all these plays were short. They didn't have a plot. Rather, they were telling a moral story. There wasn't really. I mean, there was some conflict. But as far as like saying that it was just clear-cut action and dialogue and a lot of developed characters, definitely not. This is a different kind of play. In fact, this era of drama wasn't made to wasn't made to entertain. It was more to teach morals, and that because coming out of the Dark Ages, theater was considered sacrilegious. And then they said, hey, let's use theater to tell the stories of the Bible. And that's what theater was used for during that time. So, all these different tradesmen would each put on a little show, and it'd be on this big wagon, and it'd be like a parade, and the people would come and see it. But early on, it was less about like plays like the Death of Christ. That was one that I enjoyed the most. As I think it was well written. All these plays were written by an anonymous writer. It could have been more than one, definitely. Personally, this is not the kind of drama I'm used to, so it's hard for me to talk about it. But, yeah. Did I enjoy it? No. Is it worth reading? If you're into that kind of sort of thing, yes. I mean, it's interesting to see try to perceive how different tradesmen put on these shows and understand the staging of it. I think that's more interesting. But as for text, I don't recommend it. It was on the list, but I don't recommend it. So, yeah, that's all I have for the York cycle. So, and I'll be doing the Mandrake definitely today. No exceptions, definitely. Alright, bye.